Hello everybody, Quail here. I owe you guys an apology. Why? Because the videos are going to be slightly late again. And what am I doing about it? I am playing American Truck Simulator. I'd upload the video tonight, but I have the poor excuse of I'd like to sleep. I'm gonna take this tank. But I'm just gonna do this job here. So right now it's almost 8:30. I have every reason to not play this game. But here I am. Why? Because I'm a monster. It's alright. There we go. But here we are. I have some things to do like homework and stuff. Not too much, so I'm not too worried about that because of the time I have tomorrow that I'm going to utilize and then the day after. So I have time to get my stuff done. But as far as stuff in this game, I was hoping to get an updated version of the California stop, and I want to put realistic traffic back into my videos. There it is. I already decided to play the game, even though I have some videos coming out. Why did I decide to do this? Because just a few hours ago, the iPhone 17 launched. And I know this is going to be a late video, but I want to talk about it. They had their event, my details, this isn't like you shouldn't use this video to find out like, what's going on with the iPhones. But I just want to talk about it, just because the information's not going to be the most accurate, probably. And I think they're accurate as far as I know, but I'm going on the website themselves, like the actual Apple website. But I am just a college student who's simply interested in a lot of technology. But yeah, 1 p.m. today they came out with them. Well, the event started. They were unveiled like closer to 2 p.m. I was at work, just on Walker board, just making all the sandwiches. But I was able to catch some details. I've watched a couple videos after, and I was actually very pleasantly surprised about what I saw. You got to the 17. 17, I already knew it is 6.3 inches instead of 6.1, like the iPhone 10R through the 16. It is also, for the first time ever, the base phones have 120 hertz. Oh, that's the wrong button. Not only do they have 120 hertz, let's check this really quick. Cool. And not only do they have 120 hertz, it's ProMotion. And what that means is that it doesn't just go down to... Oh, I should click on the mail so it doesn't bother me. Yeah, what that means is it being ProMotion 120 hertz display is the screen can change from 1 Hz to 120 Hz, so you still get all the battery benefits. That also means that you can now have the always on display, where they came out with the all the way back in the 14 Pro. So base iPhone users can finally have that feature. Which honestly, those phones are for 2026, and it's taken this long to actually get to those. I'm gonna hit the trailer a little bit. Yeah, it's about time, I think, that the base phone users get 120 hertz. A lot of people won't really notice the difference. Some more tech-savvy people will. I have a 60 hertz phone because I have the 13. I'll get to that later. Um, so I haven't really experienced 120 hertz on the iPhones. Well, I think I've heard some people say like once you go to 120 hertz, you don't really notice it too much, but then when you try to go back, I'm cutting this guy off. When you try to go back, then it's a lot harder. But yeah, that's another good part of it. The battery life seems to have greatly improved. Well, I mean, they say that every year, so I don't know about it. The phone is slightly larger. I mentioned it's a 6.3 inch display, so phones are ever so slightly bigger. So a bigger battery can fit, of course. So I'm gonna have to see different tests on how that goes. Please let me in. I'm so sad. I can't believe that trucker did that to me. That's why I need these mods for the traffic. Where was I about the iPhone? Just talked about the screen. Battery life. We'll have to see what's going on with that. Also the processor. They haven't used the old processor from last year, which is good. I was always a little bit afraid about that when they still have some trauma from when they came out with the iPhone 14 and they just kept the same chip as the 13 Pro, which is like, ugh. Honestly, the 14 is just a phone that just should not exist, in my opinion. Oh, also the screen itself. We already talked about it can go to 120 hertz. It can also go to a peak of in the outdoors. So you can get 3,000 nits of brightness. And the phones before that were 2,000 nits. I believe my phone is slightly less than 1,000 nits, as I almost rear in the Subaru here. And honestly, that's one of the features I definitely use if I upgraded. Also, there's the regular base 17s are sticking with 8 gigs of RAM. Well, the iPhone Air, not iPhone 17 Air, the iPhone Air and the iPhone 17 Pro have the A19 Pro chip and the 12 gigabytes of RAM. So I looked that up. Oh, another exciting thing: the base storage has been. I was able to stop. The base storage. I hate you, Red Subaru, and the truck in front. Yeah, the base storage has gone up to 256 gigs rather than 128. So for that, also. The 17 starts still at 800, which is the same price that the iPhone 12 was when the base phone price raised. Which honestly, like, given some tariffs and stuff, is just phenomenal. I was very happy to see that the price is going to stay the same. It was such a good value phone. Forget what else however, still an iPhone, so I do forget what else there is to talk about. Oh, the cameras. I'm not too attuned with like camera technology, but rather than a 12 megapixel for the front-facing camera, you have an 18 megapixel, and they're using a square sensor on all the phones, so you can, so the image you can take can just have varying like frames, as in like you can hold your phone vertically and you can still take a photo as landscape. Yeah, of course, we've had Dynamic Island since the iPhone 15. That's not really anything to talk about. Colors, pretty cool. They talked about Ceramic Shield, the base 17. We already talked about the screen, the camera's battery. Oh, also, I believe they now have Wi-Fi 7. 6, I think. Actually, my phone is, well, I can use my phone while driving. Let's see. This is the true test of being driving here. It's time to pull out my spec sheet. Actually, well, not my spec sheet, but I've had my phone on the Apple website comparing the iPhone 13 to the 17. I forgot I had this, even though I set up right before we started to drive. But yeah, 6.6.3, super retina display, picture self, same. Action button, who cares? Oh, actually no, I do like the action button, but the camera control button, honestly, like, why? Stronger ceramic shield, processor is still upgraded. So, the website said this last year too, I believe, that my phone can do 19 hours of video playback. The next one can do 30, which I remember that is an upgrade from the 16. What they said the 16 was last year. The 18 megapixel center stage front camera is what they call it. Also on all the phones you can have dual capture. So what that means is it can record both the front-facing camera and the outward-facing camera at the same time. So you can like film something and you can like record your reaction. 40 megapixels. What else do I care about? No one cares about Apple Intelligence, especially not me. Unfortunately, USB-C is still at USB 2.0, which is definitely a big disappointment. Wireless charging is faster now, a little bit. I believe 20. Yeah, you could with a 30-watt charger, you could charge up to 25 watts for wireless, which not something too excited. Not really something I care too much about, as I almost crashed around that corner right all over, so that's good. Yeah, I'm always somebody who prefers slower charging. Yeah, but another good point, yeah, I already talked about it, is the higher storage. So you now only have 2 storage options on the iPhones, on the base iPhones. 6.3 Dynamic Island promotion, which is good. So you do have always on display the promotion. I talked about that. So slightly higher resolution screen only because it's slightly bigger. Yeah. So with HDR in my 13, I can have 1200 nits of peak brightness, or typical would be 800 nits. I cannot see. Okay. I trust the system. Alright, the 17 indoor or typical is 1000, HDR is 1600, and outdoor is 3000 with a 1 nit minimum. I've talked about that too though. Height, weight, who cares? Splash and water resistance is the same across 4 generations. Oh, we do have the extra GPU core, yay. Yeah, Video recording, same. Yep. What else is there? Yeah, we talked about battery and stuff. So yeah, I think that's, can confirm Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 6, whereas my phone has a Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.0 now. Voice over LTE, yeah. Authentication is still the same. Siri, AI, slightly better sensors throughout the phone, like gyros and that kind of stuff. Although I'm sure those have been upgraded with the previous phones. That's something I haven't cared too much about. SIM card. Oh yeah, the iPhone Air is only eSIM. But yeah. So now 4 years. Now about the 13 is a 4-year-old phone. I've had it for almost 4 years. I'm sorry to just say that now. It's technically would be January. We would make it 4 years, but I'm just gonna start saying it now. So I'm just gonna check this. I have plenty of time. We're gonna stop by the that. Well, actually, we're gonna take that photo point. There's a lot of features with a bigger screen, better cameras. By this point, even if I replace the battery in my phone, I'd still get a decent amount more battery life. But I'm gonna see if I can find tests. Because now the 13 is aging, that's just fact of life. It's gonna get battery life is gonna get compared to the 16, maybe the 15. Throughout time, less and less content creators have been comparing actual battery life with the older models, which is very sad. And I struggled last year at the 16 to find comparisons, like actual reliable and good comparisons. Battery life. The screen really is a big one for me. I know most people are not going to care about the ProMotion display, but I do. And I'm someone who noticed that. And because it could drop down to only 1 hertz, it'll just be like the battery life would just be better than that department too. Sorry, I'm a little tired, so my vocabulary is not fantastic as for normal. Salt River. Ooh. Oh, let's take a photo of it like this, I guess. I'm not used to not using the controller. Also, one thing I haven't talked about yet is the it just left me. Wow, my attention span is phenomenal. Oh yes, what's it called? I know now what I want to talk about. The macro photography. I've found myself sometimes just needing to have macro photography, but only sometimes. But that is something I definitely would use a bit. Better battery life, of course I'd use that. Brighter screen, I'd use that. More RAM, makes the phone last longer. It's just like, also the fact of it's rumored that the 18 series will start staggered releases. So this time next year, I believe only the Pro models will be, like the Pro and the Air models will be unveiled, and then the following like March, then like the 18E and the 18 will come out. So if I don't upgrade this year, then it's another year and a half I'd have to wait to upgrade instead to make it worthwhile. It would be weird for their schedule, but I'm sure they'd do it. I gotta remember, I don't have good brakes. Definitely should do more driving with this setup in this profile before I move to the other ones. I want to like get the realistic traffic in. As for the Pro models, and like the Air, of course I said 12 gigs of RAM in the Air and the Pro, and the A19 Pro chip, and also starts 256 gigs. Air is 6.5 inches, only 5.5 millimeters thick, I believe. No, not 5.5. Actually, yeah, maybe. I forget. It could only be 5.5 millimeters. Pros though, all 3 cameras are 48 megapixel, and you can record at 4K. You can record at 4K and 120 FPS. FPS. Well, still not 8K somehow. They can, but they just won't. Maybe next year they probably save that for next year. And honestly, I don't blame them for this time. Can't believe I said that, but also the 17 Pro and Pro Max have moved to the aluminum unibody, and on the back they have ceramic shield for their wireless charger, rather than glass. Same with the Air, I believe. I don't know about their actual 17. I just haven't been using the resources, but I've just been focused on the drive. Like, they're all good phones. I think the 17 is the time to upgrade. In my opinion. This is definitely a better release than the previous years. I think even better than, I think even better than my 13 when that released. But maybe not. That's the one event I never watched. I think I watched the 12, I'm not sure. I definitely watched the 14, every event after that. Every event after the iPhone 14, including WWDC, like, every event Apple had I watched after the 14. Because I was like an iPhone user and like, getting into it. But when am I going to upgrade my 13 to the 17? Very tempting. But when I bought this phone 4 years ago, I promised myself to keep it for 5 years, at least. I've set that bar for myself, so that's first thing. Second thing is money. Still, yeah, the price has increased, but it's still $100, and I don't want to say this, but I used a credit card to pay for the PC that I'm just paying off. That, and I gotta save for college, so money's really not. Oh, and also inspection, car repairs and stuff in the near future. And my phone still works. I'm gonna put a new battery in it. I'm gonna talk about that in a couple minutes. So I don't think I'm gonna upgrade. It's also tempting because multiple family members could use a new phone, could desperately use a new phone, and I could buy the new one and then unlock mine from my carrier and then give it to them. Oh, here's what's quicker you have to call them. But to my battery, I believe the 14s and older are rated at 500 cycles. Only iPhone 15 new are rated at 1,000. So I have a 13, so the battery in mine is rated at 500 cycles. I've gone over 1,000 cycles. And I was at 85% capacity when I hit 1,000 cycles. Since I've hit 1,000 cycles, my battery health has taken a nosedive. In 1 week, it went from 85% to 82%. You could see me panic, but we made it. Good breaks. Yeah, definitely. And this is a light trailer. Yeah, I definitely want to play a little bit more. I should think with me talking. I'm just following it too closely. Also, minus button is the brake there, so I'm gonna have to test that out. I gotta get used to doing that. When I'm used to doing this, once I am used to braking and using this at the same time in emergencies, then I think I'll be ready. I just gotta watch my speed and stuff, and that's it. So yeah, a lot of tempting things to upgrade my phone, but finances can go elsewhere. Also, with the iPhones weren't the only products that Apple announced. They also announced the AirPods Pro 3, the Apple Watch 11, the Apple Watch SE 3, and the Apple Watch Ultra 3. all of which are pretty decent watches. They've had their upgrades. I'm not sure if I want to buy a watch, because this is my dilemma. My watch currently I've had for like about, I think actually almost 2 years now, and it's held up wonderfully. Like only like some paint is coming off. It is a very, very cheap watch. It is a, yeah, this is going to the public. I've already said a lot of data. I'm not going to tell you the brand, but I'm going to tell you that this phone, this watch, it's a digital watch. It looks like an Apple Watch, but it's only $43. That was it, $43 for a watch that can connect to my phone, and I can get messages. I can't reply to messages, but I can get texts on them. I can't read emojis, but I can read the text. It's very useful for that. It can track how much I've slept and how deep I've slept. It can get my oxygen level, my blood oxygen level, or maybe not the oxygen level. It can get my heart rate, and it can get my temperature. And it also has like different sporting apps, and like I can even control my music with it. Kind of pointless for me. Well, actually, maybe not. I'm not a sporty guy, so that's a feature I just haven't used. But I can if I wanted to. So, also the best part about this watch, it lasts me. I don't wear it every day. I don't wear it all the time every day because I can't wear it at work, but I do wear it most of the time. And it lasts me over a week on a charge. Think about 10 days on one charge, which is insane. An Apple Watch you have to charge basically every day. But this thing, 2 years later, still has phenomenal battery life. My main dilemma, also my main problem, you do have to download a separate app. And this is a $43 watch I bought from Walmart. In a world of cybersecurity, where I'd be working closer in those roles as long as I could get into the field, that is not very secure, not very safe for networks. So, and it kind of creates an open, it connects via Bluetooth to my phone. That's still like Bluetooth. Kind of feel like it could just be a security endpoint. I gotta research it more, but because I wouldn't feel like it's in compliance with like different networks. I'll have to see though. Otherwise, I'd like to keep wearing this watch because I don't want to spend like $400 on a watch, or $250 on the SE. iPhone SE's case. No, I would say the Apple Watch SE's case. Or $800 in the Ultra's case. I could buy a used watch though. I could try that out, but then I'll need to put a new battery in it. As for the AirPods Pro 3, I was considering, for the whole year, I was considering upgrading to them. And that's a lot of new features. There's not too many that I would use, like the heart rate thing, and I'd use a couple other things. As for the translation stuff, maybe I'd use. But yeah, it has the heart rate thing and noise cancellation. Because right now I'm using the base AirPods 3. So it would definitely be an upgrade. Maybe probably in sound quality too. However, I found one critical issue on the Apple website. Let me go as I floor it onto the merge onto the highway in a 14-wheeler. Let's go over to the top of the webpage. Let's merge the lane. Oh, there we go. Let's go to AirPods. Compare AirPods. Alright, that's the AirPods Pro 3. We're going to compare that to the to the base 3rd gen AirPods. And let's go down to battery. So mine can last 6 hours on one charge, which honestly is fine for me. It works. I don't have any issues with my AirPods battery, and I charge them once every like 3 days. As in like the case, I charge once every 3 days. So honestly, maybe this is a really big concern for me, but also a reason for me not to upgrade. I could do 6 hours on my AirPods, which is the AirPods themselves. The Pros, I could do 8 hours. However, with the case, if you use the case, you can get 30 hours of listening time on my AirPods. On the AirPods Pro 3, what how many hours you get? 24! You get 6 hours less. Which I was shocked by. Not only shocked, but that deterred me from buying the AirPods Pro 3. That and money, of course, but it's giving me a reason not to buy there. So if I am going to buy anything from this event, while all those are really good products for my situation, maybe the watch, maybe the SE3. I don't know. I'll have to see. I'm going to research more about how you can just penetrate a network via just a device that uses Bluetooth. And if that really causes a big risk, then I'm probably, and then if I get like a new job that where I watch a lot in the network, then I'm gonna have to, just to be safe. If there's like a real security threat that I'm posing, then I don't want to do that. Could just be giving excuses too. The jailbreak works really well on this truck. But right now, I just got my oil change in my car, and insurance is going to come up in like a week, and I'm also getting my motor mounts changed on my car next week. I used the drink break too late. Okay, well. I gotta get used to that gesture. Okay. So that's everything I want to talk about, I think. Now I do have to get up at 4 in the morning, because I got a shower. Or maybe I could do 4:30. I only have to be at work at 5:30. Also, we now have just about 830 miles on the truck as we get to our finishing point, and then we gotta park in this trailer. Yeah, if you guys watch the Apple event, let me know. The video will probably come out like Friday, and then I go away for the weekend, so then no more videos. I might record more, but at this point, there's a lot of work. There's homework I can do, so I'm gonna do a lot tomorrow after work. Let's pull up. Here we go. This is a smaller trailer, but we should change cameras. Also, my screen on my phone does have burn-in, but only a little. It's not an issue. We still haven't made our first payment on our truck yet. We've had a really smooth run. Much smoother than the 3.0 profile. I'd love to restart the 3.0 profile, but just because I had thousands. Because that profile kind of has gone wrong at the start. And when I play, and I just fall out of love with it every time I play the hardcore profile. And honestly, like the hardcore profile is farther ahead by about like 30 grand. So I almost felt like I kind of want to ditch it. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys give me feedback, please. If anyone does watch to the end, please let me know. You probably haven't made it this far. If you have, then thank you. I really highly appreciate you. I don't know what. I mean, maybe I am that interesting. Who knows? Probably not. Cool. I do like parking with the. I do enjoy parking with the steering wheel a lot more. All right, exactly 130 miles. We got 13 grand from that. We basically doubled our account. 14 actually, 14 and a half grand. We didn't quite level up, but we got very close. So we doubled our account balance. It's 180 to upgrade. Could borrow a lot more money, but we don't need to. 100,000 to pay off in 56 days. I'll save up and pay that off though. So that is it for today. Thank you guys for listening and watching, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.